Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. And today it's further more videos this month on just getting to know me. And today, what I wanted to talk to you and share with you was what's in some of the things that are in my video toolbox. My toolbox is pretty large. I don't know if it's because I have, you know, ADHD, which I've never been diagnosed with, but I just love to use different tools for different reasons. And there'll be periods of time where I'm using it just for a period of time, and then I'll move on to something else. And then there are other tools that have been in my toolbox pretty much since the beginning. Today, I'm going to try to focus on no more than 4 or 5 at the most. I might stretch it to 5 different tools. And basically, what I want to share is what the tool is and how I use it and what the benefits of it have been for me. So I don't want to hold you in suspense too much longer. I'm going to be looking down a couple of times because I just need to keep track of the list of things that I'm going to be talking about. And then also making sure that if you have any questions, if you do have any questions, please post them so that I can respond to them in real time. If I'm not able to do that, then by all means, leave the comments and I will make sure that I am able to just bear with me 1 second because it just dawned on me I didn't share my second screen. And I'll be able to answer them after the fact. So to get you started, the first tool that I'm going to talk about, and I'm pretty sure if you followed me for any length of time, you know that I've spoken about this tool a lot. And in fact, on Friday, I am releasing a video that is a comparison video between this tool and another one that is comparable to it. And the tool I am talking about is Loom. And if you are somehow unfamiliar with Loom, Loom is it can be considered a screen recording tool. Some people call it an asynchronous video messaging tool. That is pretty much, for the most part, how I typically will use it is as an asynchronous video messaging tool. I would prefer to use this instead of sending emails to my clients or to my team. I highly recommend it if that is how you are, if you're someone who does not necessarily like having to type out email messages, but it is a tool that you can use as your screen recorder. Nowadays, more and more people are recording videos because they're doing screen recordings, whether it's that they have a tutorial going on or they're sharing their screen to offer some sort of a presentation. And that tends to be a tool. Loom tends to be a tool that a lot of people are using for that. So you can use it for that. I use it on occasion like that because the other tool that I prefer to use is Camtasia. Camtasia, which I will be sharing a little bit about that a little later on. So Loom is a really good tool and my preferred tool of choice because nowadays they've implemented some AI features within it that makes it a whole lot easier to use and to be able to communicate with. So in this particular example, I was trying to show an example of something that didn't have some private information on it. But in this particular screen that's up, I think just wanted to do like a sample of recording a screen of a presentation that I was doing. And so you can record whatever you want. You can record directly to the camera where you're just speaking with only yourself, or you can share the screen with either a presentation slide that you're doing or a slide presentation that you're doing, or maybe you're showcasing a website, you're walking somebody through a website, perhaps you're doing some sort of onboarding, or if you're sharing the ins and outs of a particular software program. So whatever it is that you need to show visually, you can use Loom to do. That is pretty much going to be the same regardless of what tool you use. And there are a lot of them that are out there. Where Loom and a lot of the other tools that are out differentiate is what happens in the layout of what your end product will look like, as well as what can you do with that at the end when you're finished. This is what I love about Loom now. Loom also offers, as you can see over here, it has this Loom AI feature that they're talking about there. And what that does is it allows a lot of capabilities and features where you don't have to take that extra step. So back in the day, you used to have to, once you've recorded, come up here and name your recording. So it could be, tutorial or a walkthrough of fill in the blank. Whatever the name of it was, you would put in there. Now, if you have the Loom AI feature added in, and that is an optional feature that they charge an additional $4 per month on, whether you are paying annually or on a month-to-month basis. And so what it will do is based on your recording, it will then automatically determine through AI what the gist of your video is about, and then it will automatically title it. And in some instances, it will give it an emoji. The other thing that it will do is summarize what your video was about, as well as provide you with chapters, which just allows these to be clickable so that the person that's receiving this Loom video can jump from one section to the next. Loom also offers unlimited hosting of all of your videos, and then you'll also be able to put all of those videos in folders, if that makes more sense. I wish I had started doing that from day one. I forgot when I started, but I wish that I had started from previous to that. Also nowadays, you can edit a little bit more strategically with it. Before, you used to just be able to trim the beginning and the end, and then maybe you could add on an additional clip. But now they actually allow you to do some editing. It's not as finessed as if you were using a proper editing platform, but it is definitely improved in terms of the way that it used to be. It now also allows you to remove filler words and silences. Again, most standard video editors are allowing you, if they have AI features, they're allowing you to do that. The other thing is that it will also allow you to, let me get rid of that. It will also allow you to edit your video through removing words from the transcript. And you can, again, if you have this, the AI feature on here, you can add in a link into your video. So when somebody watches this, they can then click here, and you can have that link be anything. It can go to your website, it can go to a calendar or what have you. And then also you have the ability to have your logo branded and your colors branded on here as well. Now, when it comes to these Loom AI features, these are some of the things that I really like that for me stand out in comparison to a lot of the other tools. And I have not looked at every other asynchronous type tool. I've scrutinized it, comparing it to Tela, which is another tool that I think has been out for probably about 3 or 4 years now, but I've only now started to sort of experiment with it. And that video is coming out on Friday, so you can look at that video on my channel. But what I like here is I'm going to go over to write a document. And I tend to use a lot of my Loom videos are used for me to send to my team as an SOP or to an intern so that they can get in a visual format, step by step, what it is that I want them to do, but then they'll also get the text version of it as well. So when you click here to where it says SOP, it gives you the standard operating procedure in text, and then it gives you the link to that Loom video. You can also, instead of having an SOP, just have a step by step. where it will just break it down by step in terms of all of the different things that you're doing. I keep forgetting to remind myself of what PR description means, but you can look and see what it does here. It's giving you an overview of what the bullet points of this particular video was. And then it's also pulling out assumptions that were made in the video and then any sort of testing strategy that may have been mentioned in the content of the video. And then again, it has the link. Then quality assurance. This is used particularly or beneficial if you offer a software or if you're like an app developer and you want people to be able to, provide you with feedback in terms of what are bugs that they may be experiencing. And so you can certainly do that here. And then code docs. I don't use these three at all. I use SOP or step by step. And so this code docs, building consistent, no. So this actually is giving you a synopsis. It's saying establishing consistency, probably based on the content of the video. And again, any sort of routine that you can create and tracking progress. I have to get a little bit more in depth on that, but these three are not ones that I typically will use. And then creating an issue. I think this might be, again, this is one that I don't. Okay, so if this was a problem video, then this would be providing with, what is it that the person is struggling with and what could be the solution. And then to write a message is for any kind of communications, like if you want to use Slack or Teams, or in my instance, I use Trello. So I could copy and paste this and then put it into that platform. You can do the same for email. It's just a little bit more fleshed out, but essentially it's saying the same thing. So those are features that Loom has that I don't think a lot of other asynchronous video tools have. In fact, when I compared it to Tela did not have this particular feature, but it had some other things that Loom did not have. So that's one of the things that I really, or one of the tools that I really enjoy. I'm going to try and go through the rest of these fairly quickly. The next one is, it's my go-to tool when I have meetings, consultations, strategy calls, and it's called Fathom.video. I also have a video on this on my YouTube channel. The reason why I like this, and this in my mind differentiates itself from a lot of the other tools, is the kind of information you can extract from the meetings. Now, I used to use Otter.ai. It's still a really, really good tool. I think they're both very comparable in a lot of ways. I think their price points are similar, although Fathom without the AI or without a lot of the AI capabilities is free. And then you have to pay annually or on a month-to-month basis for some of the reasons why I actually like it. So what I kind of wanted to just quickly show, let me just pick one random, I'll pick this one, is that when you have recorded your video, it gives you an opportunity to sort of break that video down based on the type of video that it was. So ordinarily, it gives you a general synopsis or summary of this particular meeting. But if you pay for the AI features, if, say, for example, this was a call with somebody that was a prospect that I wanted to, or I was marketing my services to, and it was a sales call, there are a number of different templates that they've had in here that you can use so that you can analyze the information and extract from that meeting what were the important parts, like what's the pain point the person was having? Did they mention a budget? Did they mention any objections? Things of that nature, as opposed to, If it's general, it may not give you all of that specific information, but certainly if it was a transcript, you'd have to go finding and hunting for that information on your own. If it is, I use it a lot for my strategy calls. So I like to do an overview of like catching up on what was a success for the client versus what was not working for them. So you can get that kind of overview and get that extracted from the meeting, especially if you have meetings that are like, in excess of 30 minutes long. That's a lot of content for you to go through. I like to use this because it keeps me present with the conversation that I have with the client or the prospect, whomever it is that I'm speaking to, and I don't have to get distracted by taking a lot of notes. This does allow, when you are recording, to sort of bookmark and mark highlights of maybe there was something that the person said that's of importance, and it will note that for you. It also gives you things that you can follow up on. It will list out all of the questions that were mentioned in the meeting. So all in all, it really does allow you to stay present in all of your meetings, whatever type of call it may be for. And then it also just gives you an opportunity to quickly extract the most important information so that you can then create your plan of action of how you're going to follow up. Now, another thing that they do here, you do have the ability to share these video or just the transcript and summaries with the people that you spoke with. But I love this feature where it has copy follow-up email. So it gives you sort of a snapshot or a synopsis of what your meeting was about. And you're able to then reply to the person that you met with and have that email be sent to that person. So it really, again, with AI, just gives you the ability to be present and be quick about the feedback that you're giving to your audience. Now, the other new feature that they have added in is something called Ask Fathom. So it acts like a chat GPT, but it's specific to your conversation. So what you could do in here is based on whatever the context of that meeting was, and I have, again, a video on this on my YouTube channel, you would be able to pull out information that maybe, say, for example, you weren't able to see it in the sales summary or the key takeaway summary or what have you, but you want to have a specific question asked, then you can ask that question here and it will go through the transcript and pull that out for you. So you could ask it, like, again, I don't know what this call was about, but you can see some ideas here, like what would help make progress, or what was surprising in this meeting, things of that nature. And then you'd be able to pull that out just so that you can refresh your memory. Because again, if you do a lot of calls, I do a lot, it's hard to keep track and remember certain things. And this really helps you be able to stay on top of those things. And again, this, just like Loom, has unlimited, so far anyway, hosting of your video calls. Sometimes I'll delete mine, but for the most part, I'll hold on to them. Okay, so the next tool is Big View. Big View, if any of you have recalled, it is my go-to tool if I am going to record videos from my smartphone. And the reason why I've always used it is because I could write my script and create it in the desktop application of Big View. And then immediately, just upon saving it, it will go to my smartphone where I have access to the app on my smartphone. Again, I have videos on this on my YouTube channel. And that way I'm able to record on my smartphone. Now, the reason why I want to record using a tool like Big View is that it allows me to, if I choose to use a teleprompter and read a script, it allows me to do that effortlessly from my smartphone. And the script comes up at a portion of your smartphone where your camera, the eye of your camera is. So it's really easy for you to look at your screen and look as if you're looking directly in the camera's eye. It's a lot harder to do this on your computer screen, although BigView does give you the option of being able to record your teleprompter from your computer screen, but you are going to be looking down. Now, with the Pro version of, I think it's the Pro version. I think that's the name of it. The Pro version of BigView, like a lot of other video editing tools, they now have the eye contact feature, which is an AI feature that allows you to, in post, move your eyes from down to at the level of the camera eye. So I would recommend, if you're going to use it and you're going to use it with your webcam, glance up every now and again so that BigView or whatever tool it is that you're using will understand where your eye level is, and then you can go back to reading. So that is a newest feature that BigView has implemented, and I highly recommend utilizing it. I'm one person that the way that I love to use any of these tools, especially the subscription-based tools where you can pay month to month and you can start and stop whenever you want. So when you're not using it actively, you can stop the subscription, and then when you're ready to use it, you can use it again. So that's how I prefer to use these tools, because I have to subscribe to a bunch of them because I'm always testing different tools. So it just keeps a handle on costs. So that's what I would do. And that's what I recommend when it comes to BigView. You can use BigView to edit your videos as well, if that's a tool that you want to use. I happen not to use that as my video editor, but it is definitely my go-to for recording my videos. It does also have the capability of helping you write your scripts as well, if you want to use it for that purpose. Additionally, you do not have to only use BigView if you're using a teleprompter. You can use it just to go straight and just to record. You don't have to always have a script to read, because some people will prefer to use bullet points, which I also recommend if that is something that you're comfortable with and you know that you'll be able to easily do that. Now, the last tool, actually, it's going to be two tools that I'm going to talk about, because I love both of them so much I didn't know which one to choose. So I chose to choose both. Video editors. I love using Kapwing and Camtasia. So I'm going to show you both really quickly. So Kapwing is my go-to video editor if I have quick and simple videos that I need to create, or if I want to create a video and I need to create the script for that video, and I want that video to be 100% created from B-roll. They have the capability of allowing you to use AI to create your videos from scratch. So that's my number one reason for using Kapwing. Also, it is sort of a catch-all video creator, because you can record yourself, you can record your screen, you can upload your footage, and you can edit the videos. You can curate B-roll using this platform, and you can then repurpose the end result into clips. Now, and you can do a whole bunch more, but I'm not going to go into all of the other things that you can do. It can also edit for you. They do have a smart cut editing feature within it that automatically removes silences and filler words and things of that nature. They have a feature that I am testing right now that I have not done a video on because I'm still just testing it, and it's their cloning feature. And I know some people are going to be up in arms about, well, I don't want anything cloned of me, blah, blah, blah. I totally get it. Totally understand it. I like and don't mind being a guinea pig occasionally. So I'm using their feature for both cloning my voice as well as cloning my image. And so once I've gotten through that, I definitely want to present that as well. So Kapwing definitely is one of those really innovative platforms that is experimenting and testing with literally every aspect of AI when it comes to video creation. And so I, as you can see, use it a lot. So it's my go-to tool in a lot of instances. When I'm not using Kapwing, I tend to use Camtasia. Now, Camtasia is my preferred tool when I have to do tutorial videos. And I prefer it over Loom, even though I can record my screen and myself in Kapwing. It is very limited. And this is what Camtasia was meant to be when it first was created. It was a screen recording platform. And I think that they do it better than pretty much anybody else that's out there. But as the years have progressed, it definitely has improved over time. And they've also incorporated a lot of features that make it a much more robust overall video editor. So if you're looking for something close to like an iMovie or a Final Cut Pro or a Premiere, Camtasia is definitely closely in line with that, but is just a little simpler and easier to use because it's just an easier platform to understand. It's very drag and drop type of platform. Depending on whether you decide to subscribe to their asset library, it will allow you to incorporate B-roll into your footage in a similar way that Kapwing does. If you choose not to add in that piece, then you would obviously have to manually find the B-roll footage and then upload it manually. It makes a lot of the motion graphics and things of that nature a lot easier to use. It does also have other tools that you can marry with it, like Audiate, which you can see here on my screen. This section here is was manipulated by Audiate, which is their audio editor. And what that does is that's like if you need to make the audio much more robust, or if you need to improve upon it in any way, shape, or form, you will want to edit the portion of the video or all of the audio in Audiate and then import it back into Camtasia. So Camtasia is my overall go-to when I have tutorial videos and I'm doing them for YouTube. That is 99.999% of the time what I'm going to use. Kapwing is my platform of choice if I am doing quick videos. They can be social videos. They can be videos that I'm doing from scratch. I have no idea what I want to say. I know the topic that I want to talk about, and whether I'm concerned about having it have my voice or not, Kapwing is probably going to be the one that I'm going to use. And then I also use it if I need to repurpose. Although there's also another tool that I love that's in my toolbox that I use for repurposing. Big View is my go-to tool when I am recording my videos, and that's primarily when I'm recording from my smartphone, but you can also use it to record your teleprompter from your webcam. I would just recommend that if you're going to do that, make sure that your editor, whether you're using Big View as your editor or you're using some other tool, that it has the eye contact feature that will allow you to move your eyes from the screen to your camera. And then when it comes to recording all of my Zoom calls, this also works. Fathom works with Google Meet as well. And I think it works with Teams, I think. It is my go-to choice to record all of my meetings because it is the best way for me to analyze what I talked about and for me to be able to then follow up with my clients afterwards. And then for onboarding, for communication via asynchronous communication, which just basically means it's not happening at the same time. So think email. Loom is my product of choice in that regard. I've been babbling on here for almost 30 minutes. I want to see if there's any questions. Again, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please, please, please let me know. And I also wanted to share with you that I have coming up on the 26th of September at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, a Pick My Brain session. So if you go to this link, let me see if I can, hold on a second, copy and paste it into the chat so that you all will, hopefully this will work. You all will be able to see it. By all means, join me, send me your questions, and I will gladly be available to answer them for you. As per usual, I am here on Wednesday next week, again at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week, I'm going to share in my journey the books, the experiences, and the people that have influenced me and guided me through this journey. So I'll be sharing that with you next week. So just let me know if you have any questions. And I thank you all for watching, whether you're here live or if you're on the replay. I appreciate the time that you take when you pop in and out on these live streams. And like I shared with you at the very, very beginning, way back when, that I do these because this was something that was challenging for me. And, you know, I appreciate you when you show up live, whether you're here live or not. I'm going to be here because I think that it's an important thing for me to do so that I can share my knowledge and my expertise with everyone that is interested in knowing what I do and how I help my audience. And it is something that helps me overcome a block or a fear that I had, which came to live streaming. It was just something that I was not super, super comfortable with, and I'm getting much more at ease. I can't say that this is what I'm going to do permanently and that I'll never do anything else. Chances are at some point, these lives will go to a gated community, if you will, where I'll go live, but to people that are on my email list or in my community that is not on YouTube or LinkedIn. And I will probably leave YouTube for content that is for all of the masses. And I may end up just sort of formulating the content to be much more specific to my ideal audience that's in my community and much more structured. So, and I would love to have your feedback on that as well. So I always want to hear from you. I thank you every week for showing up, and I'll see you next week. Take care.